You probably think Santa Claus wears red simply because that's just how Santa looks. Red suit, white beard, black boots. The image feels so fixed, so familiar, that questioning it almost feels pointless. As if Santa has always appeared this way. Unchanged, unquestioned, eternal. The kind of image that feels less like a design choice and more like a law of nature. But that certainty is an illusion. The truth is, Santa's iconic red outfit isn't ancient. It isn't universal. And for most of his long, winding history, Santa Claus didn't even have a single, consistent appearance at all. What we recognize today as Santa is actually the final frame of a very long cultural movie, one full of rewrites, reinterpretations, and visual experiments that most people have completely forgotten. A character shaped not by one decision, but by centuries of small changes stacking on top of each other. In fact, Santa almost didn't wear red. The figure we now call Santa Claus is not the product of one culture or one era. He's a collage, a carefully stitched patchwork of myths, religions, folklore, artistic interpretation, and cultural coincidence, assembled slowly over centuries. Different societies projected their values onto him, reshaped him, and passed him forward slightly altered. And if you really want to understand how Santa became Santa, the best place to look isn't his sled or his reindeer. It's his wardrobe. Our story doesn't begin at the North Pole. It begins much farther south, in the 4th century, with a real historical figure, Saint Nicholas of Myra. He was a Christian bishop living in what is now modern-day Turkey, known for his generosity, his secrecy, and his habit of giving gifts to those in need. According to legend, Nicholas would leave coins in shoes or toss bags of gold through windows under cover of night, acts meant to be anonymous, not celebrated. The magic wasn't in being seen, but in giving without recognition. As a bishop, Nicholas would have worn religious vestments, long, flowing robes, often in subdued tones like brown, gold, or occasionally red, depending on region and tradition. These colors carried symbolic weight, representing authority, sacrifice, and spiritual responsibility. But these garments weren't festive. They weren't playful. They weren't designed to delight children or spark joy. They symbolized authority, faith, and moral discipline. After Nicholas's death, stories about him spread across Europe. And as they traveled, something subtle but powerful happened. Saint Nicholas stopped being just a historical figure and slowly began transforming into a symbol. As Christianity expanded, it didn't erase older beliefs. Instead, it absorbed them, blending saints with seasonal myths that already lived in people's imaginations. Across Northern Europe, long before Christianity arrived, people already believed in winter spirits and supernatural travelers who moved through the darkest months of the year. These figures watched over communities, judged behavior, and ensured survival through harsh winters. Some rewarded good conduct. Others punished wrongdoing. Many were feared as much as they were respected. Winter was dangerous, and the beings associated with it reflected that danger. Visually, they blended into the winter world around them. They wore earthy colors, greens, browns, whites, meant to disappear into forests, snowfields, and shadows. They were symbols of endurance, not comfort, mystery, not joy, survival, not celebration. When Saint Nicholas merged with these older traditions, his image fractured. In Germany and nearby regions, he remained a stern bishop in long robes. In the Netherlands, he became Sinterklaas, wearing red ecclesiastical garments and a tall mitre, still formal and authoritative. In England, he merged with Father Christmas, a figure traditionally dressed in green, a color tied to nature, rebirth, and survival through winter. Elsewhere in Europe, gift-bringers appeared in blue, brown, gray, or even black. Each culture dressed the myth according to its own fears, values, and climate. For centuries, no one felt the need to standardize him. Santa wasn't a brand. He was a role. That all began to change in the 19th century. The Victorian era reshaped Christmas itself. Childhood became something to protect and idealize. Homes became emotional centers rather than just places to live. And Christmas transformed into a holiday about warmth, family, memory, and moral storytelling. It was no longer just about faith or survival. It was about feeling. With that shift came imagery. Books, newspapers, and magazines needed pictures to match the stories. And illustrators began experimenting, trying to give shape to an idea that had never fully settled. One of the most influential was Thomas Nast, whose drawings in Harper's Weekly gradually shaped Santa into something recognizable. Nast's Santa gained weight, warmth, and personality. He smiled. He aged. He became human rather than mythical. Color-wise, Nast experimented constantly. Santa appeared in brown, tan, green, and blue. Red showed up often, not as a rule, but as a strong visual choice. It stood out on the page. It felt festive. It echoed religious robes and winter warmth. But even then, red was an option, not a mandate. Still, Santa wasn't locked into red. That final step came in the 20th century, through mass media and advertising. In 1931, Coca-Cola commissioned illustrator Haddon Sundblom to create a Christmas campaign featuring Santa Claus. And here's the crucial point. Coca-Cola didn't invent Santa. They didn't even invent the red suit. What they did was something far more powerful. They made Santa consistent. Sundblom's Santa was friendly, soft, and approachable. He smiled easily. He had laugh lines, rosy cheeks, and kind eyes. He looked like someone who belonged in your living room, someone you could trust. The red suit trimmed with white fur wasn't just visually striking. It felt warm, safe, and emotionally familiar. And Coca-Cola repeated this image relentlessly, year after year, across continents, in magazines, shop windows, billboards, calendars, and advertisements. For the first time in history, the same Santa appeared everywhere, looking the same, wearing the same color. Repetition did what centuries of folklore never did. Red stopped being one option among many. It became the answer. Other companies followed. Artists copied it. Traditions aligned around it. And within a single generation, the red suit stopped feeling like a choice and started feeling like destiny. Children grew up assuming that Santa had always looked this way and passed that assumption on without question. That's how modern myths are born. Today, Santa's red suit feels inevitable. But it isn't ancient law. It's cultural momentum. The result of pagan winter spirits, Christian bishops, folklore, Victorian nostalgia, and modern branding colliding at exactly the right moment in history. So why red? Because red means warmth in winter, visibility in snow, authority without fear, joy without chaos. It's bold, comforting, unmissable. Santa didn't wear red because tradition demanded it. Tradition followed the red. And the next time you see Santa glowing against white snow or blinking lights, remember, you're not looking at something frozen in time. You're looking at a living myth, one that evolved, adapted, and eventually settled into red not by accident, but because the world was finally ready to agree on how magic should look. And that's why Santa Claus wears red.